Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. I'm getting ready to, excuse me, do some heavy sanding here. You stick around, show you what I'm doing. Be right back. Alright brothers, I've been, let me show you. Been going at this like so, with a small microfile, and I'm really not getting anywhere with it. So, excuse me guys, what I think I'm going to have to do is bust out the Dremel. Now, I didn't want to do that because the Dremel, at least the one I have, I can't vary the speed on it. But I've got no other choice. So, let me situate this so you guys can see where I'm at now. And this is where I'll show you what I'm doing. Got the Dremel, safety glasses. Got it set at the number 1. So what I'm going to do is, let me see if you guys can see what I'm doing. Very carefully, shaving down the real heavy spots. And then I'll have to go in with a file and some sandpaper and smooth it out. But you've heard me mention that this styrene is awfully thick. So it seems like before I start adding the eggs, I have to take down a little bit, and then I'll have to shape it. And as long as I'm careful, try not to take too much off. I sanding drum is awfully hard. Alright, you see where I had to take it down. Now I'm going to have to go in here, smooth all this down. Right now, before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to glue this in. Get that glued down before. So, let me get that taken care of. Alright fellas, as you can see, I have an assortment of sponge sanders out here. A very fine one. This is about maybe a 320 grit. And then I have one here, sponge with different grits on it. And so what I'm attempting to do now, see, this is what happens. What happened, it would have been easier had I not put these wings, glued them onto these struts. I would have been able to go in here. So my inexperience, and it shows, because now what I have to do is I have to work around this. It can be done, but it's a pain. So let me show you what I'm up to. I've got those cleaned out with the Dremel as best as I could without losing everything. And with this sponge, I'm going in and I'm trying to smooth it out now. And I'm doing everything I can not to lose this piece right here, that little ridge there. But you see how it's not lining up because this piece did not line up with this piece. This piece here was this bottom part was too far forward in this piece. Now, had I not had this on here, I could have, you know, I don't know. I still might be able to thin that down some, but I'll end up losing a lot of detail there. So, you know, I learned from this one. You know, I won't make that mistake again on the second one I do. So, here, let me raise this up a little bit, guys. Let me see what I'm doing here. Okay. So, I'm using it's a regular nail tech, you know, sponge. It's got like that's about a 320. That's about a 400. And then you got a very, actually this one doesn't have anything on there. So you got about a 400, or I'm sorry, a 320, about a 400, and a very fine on one end. So the scuff marks that I put in there when I dremelled it, and it seems to be taking them out real nice. You see that? I'll go over that with about an 800 grit when I'm done, and maybe even wet sand that down once I put the epoxy sculpt or the putty in there. I'll probably need epoxy sculpt to fill those in, but once I do that, I'll go in with maybe about 1,000 to 2,000 grit and smooth all that down. And hopefully you won't be able to see that. The only thing that'll show that something was done was right in here, you know. So this is going to take some time. I was hoping to get a lot of this done today, but it doesn't seem like I am. It's going to be a lot of sanding, polishing, putty work. But you know, again, it was my stupidity by gluing these into that wing and then putting them in there. Had that wing not been in there and these just sitting in there free floating, I would have been able to get at that a lot better. Lesson learned, huh? I don't know what I was thinking. But this has all been glued down. This still needs to be glued down. So I just want to see just how hard this is, or easy this is going to be to get that. And so far so good. I mean, it's doing a real nice job of it. I'm trying not to lose that arc there. And then with this sponge, it conforms to it, so yeah. See? The other one that I have is the same fit issue. I was playing around with it today, and yeah, it's going to be the same fit issue. At least with the other one, I'll know better than to do this. You know, lesson learned. So this is going to clean up okay. See? I mean, you're still going to need some putty work, but I may not need the epoxy sculpt all the way through. Be right back. Let me clamp that down. All right, brothers. After about an hour's worth of work, sanding, filing, sanding. That's where we're at now. I got them to match up. That's going to take some Aves right there. And then I'll regular putty. And the same here. Some Aves here, right in this one. And then right back here. And then some regular putty. If you can see on the bottom, it's going to take some putty work to get rid of that seam. And the same thing there. So, it's been a lot of work. And I mean, I busted out everything here. But I want to say something though. And I want to thank every modeler that ever took the time to make a video, you know, and show their techniques. I learned a lot from them. And I used every technique that I learned on that there. I made the mistake of putting those wings on. And I'm paying for it. And it just made it a little bit more difficult for me. But it wasn't something that I couldn't overcome. Cohen, when you put yours together, don't put those wings on like I did, man. It was, I mean, that's a rookie mistake, and I won't make it again. I learned from it. So, let me get the Aves all together, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. Be back in a minute. Hi, brothers. I think I'm done for tonight, but I want to show you what I did instead of busting out the Aves. I took some styrene rod, some .40, little bitty guy, and I used it to shim it up. Now it's the glue setting in there, so I need to let it sit and do its job. And then I'll go in there and I'll sand it down, and then I'll use regular putty rather than bust out the Aves, because that I was going to do it, but I thought maybe this might work a little better. So in the meantime, and I put another piece right there and a very small piece there. I'm still going to have to go in with some putty work in there, but and you know, all the way around, but at least it's not going to be as bad as what I thought it was going to be. And then I'll go in and I'll do some more sanding on it. So, but she's buttoned up for the most part. And then we'll work on getting this guy in here. And then get this bad boy glued in there. And the cool thing is I ordered another one of these, and when I did all this work and cut that out and I did all that, I didn't think about you not being able to see through it. Well, there's a couple of versions of this. The original one that I have here comes with a smoked glass. And then a later version of it came with a clear glass. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is put the clear glass on there. Just so you're able to look inside of it. The next one I build, when I light that up with the smoke glass, you'll be able to see all the fiber optic lights coming through it. So that's where I'm at now, guys. It's been a pretty frustrating night, but she's getting there. You know, she's getting there. You know, I'm pretty stoked about it. It's taking some work, and she's fighting me tooth and nail, man. But she'll be nice when she's done, man. All right, until our next update on this one, I have everything buttoned up, sanded down, and primed. You know, will be the next update. So until then, brothers, you guys have a good one. It's the Red Dragon saying, you know, you brothers stay safe, brothers and sisters. You stay safe out there. Enjoy your families. Take care of your children if you got them. And just, you know, give thanks to the styrene gods, man. They ain't throw that against the wall. Huh? Peace, brothers. Ciao.